It's hard work. It's not labor like I do. I sit at a desk and tell people what to do. And once in a while I go out and bend down and say, well, you need to change that part right there. That's about the extent of my labor. Okay? But other people out there lifting and doing all this other stuff, you know, that's what he's talking about here. In other words, there's pain involved in this work. He said, when a woman is in labor, listen, has sorrow, and she has sorrow because of that labor. Listen.
Because her hour has come.
Wait a minute. I want you to understand something. The closer that woman comes to delivering that child, the more difficult the labor becomes. And the more profound the suffering becomes. I'm going somewhere. I'm going somewhere with this. Listen, Drew.
But as soon as she has given birth to the child.
But as soon as that child is born, the labor is over.
That's right.
What happens, Drew?
She no longer remembers the anguish.
She don't even remember the anguish. Why?
For joy that a human being has been born into the world.
Because her mind gets off of all that she went through to bring forth this child, and her mind moves from there to another place. There is this child that is born. And what, Drew?
Therefore, you now have sorrow.
Therefore, you got sorrow right now. You're in labor right now. You are suffering right now. But what?
But I will see you again.
But Jesus says, I'm going to see you again. In other words, I'm coming after the labor. You all missed it. What God is saying is that although you're going through some stuff right now, and it hurts right now, it is only because you're bringing forth something that is going to be more gracious and more wonderful than the sorrow that you're in right now. In other words, be able and be willing to go through the suffering that you're going through right now, because if you hang in there and continue to push, sometimes the doctor, he said you got to push, right? He said you got to push unless you got a C-section, and then he go in and cut the baby out. But thank God, sometimes when you're in labor, you got to push, right? What you need to be doing right now is not laying there crying, but pushing. I said you need to be pushing. You need to be pressing into your destiny. You got to quit worrying about what happened, who left you, who sold you out, who don't like you, what ain't going right, how you messed up back there, what's going to happen in the future. No, it is time for you to press your way through your situation. You can sit there feeling sorry for yourself, but feeling sorry for yourself will not change your situation. You got to push. Sometimes you got to push through some people. Some people that's holding you back, you got to press through those people. Get people out of your life that don't mean you any good. Get them out your life. Even if you love them. Sometimes you're in love with the wrong person. You're in love with somebody that's holding you back. You need to find out, let me see, is this person going the way that I'm going? And I'm going the way that God is going. If they don't love God, I don't need them in my life.
That's right.
You got to push. There is a blessing after suffering if you continue on. You can't give up. You know what? The weakest, most giver-upper people I've ever seen are Christians. I just made that up. Giver-upper. Well, Bonnie is the quicker picker-upper, so the Christians can be the quickest giver-uppers. Somebody relates to what I'm talking about. We give up too easy. Soon as a little adversity comes up in our lives, oh Lord, I don't know what to do. Yeah, you do. Push. Time to press through. It's time to push through that situation. You can sit back and hope something happens, or you can get up and make something happen. You keep on waiting for a miracle to happen. Quit waiting for a miracle and do something that God can bless. I'm all right about it. I've been praying. That's good, but what you've been doing while you're praying? Now, I'm not saying don't pray. I'm saying when you're praying, you need to be doing something. Christians are the most crazy people that you ever want to meet, because they think that God, all he's going to do is send down miracles. God didn't promise you a miracle every day. If it happened every day, it wouldn't be a miracle. And so we want, God, give me this, give me that. We want God to do miraculous. How about this? How about learning to suffer through things and deal with life the way that it really is? And if God determined to do a miracle in your life, thank God. And if he doesn't, thank him anyhow, because he's good. It's got it all messed up. So you're in labor. How many in labor too? I think somebody is in labor today. Somebody is going through some pain right now. And I know that right now it doesn't feel good. But if you keep on pushing, if you keep on pressing, if you keep on believing God, eventually your blessing, because what you're pushing out is to your blessing. You're pushing out your destiny. Okay, you don't have to work for salvation, but you got to work for everything else. Let's see. In other words, Jesus paid it all. That's true. He paid it all for our salvation. But if you think that that's where you got to stop, that it ends at salvation, then you're going to live a lousy, miserable, no good life. It's going to be a whole bunch of people that saved but going nowhere. You know what? I'm glad I'm going to heaven, but I got to live right here, right now. And I don't know about you, but I don't intend on living down here when I can live right here. And that doesn't necessarily mean money, but it does mean peace of mind. It does mean security. I want some joy while I'm here. I don't need money to have joy. And you know what? I want to be able to get some things that I want in life. The thing about it is, the closer you get to God, the more those desires change of what you want. Right now you want 36, 24, 36 or something like that maybe. Maybe you just like 48. It's cool, but you want what you want. But the thing about it is, when you draw close to God, God will send what you need. And you'll find out after a while, Sister Manna, that what you need is way better than what you want.